Across America, stadiums are homes to the most popular sports teams, largest concerts, and most important gatherings in the world. For something that is in basically every city in the United States, the NBA has a seriously large problem when it comes to the stadiums and arenas where they play. And the severity of this massive issue was a lot worse than you thought. So, how did this even start? To fully understand how the NBA got to such a horrible point in terms of stadiums and the prices of tickets, we need to understand what makes a ticket in the modern NBA more expensive than others. Naturally, different teams and cities are going to attract demand depending on the quality of the game, how good the team is, and the overall price of things in that city. This may seem simple to everyone, and believe me, only a few years ago it was. But today, it is not easily explainable, and the complexity regarding the price of tickets in the NBA has become a horrifying issue. Almost every NBA superstar has talked about wanting to perform on a nightly basis for the fan in the nosebleeds who saved up all their hard-earned money to watch them play. This was the key mentality of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, but now the prices of some of these games have been so outrageous that those fans can't even attend anymore, which is exactly why, if you're a real fan, you should hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss one of my videos. And this NBA ticketing issue is happening for a few key reasons. For starters, inflation has been pretty bad over these last few years, causing the US dollar to be worth less than it was prior to the pandemic. This is a simple and valid reason for tickets increasing over time, but what we're seeing now is unprecedented. In New York, the cheapest ticket for any game in the regular season is $150 just to see the Knicks play at MSG. But if you want to see the Knicks at almost any other arena in the country, it's often less than half of that, or even a small fraction to get into the arena. Part of this is because the New York fans have been deprived of a great team for so long, and now they finally do. However, the same situation can be said about teams like Cleveland and Minnesota, whose ticket prices are nowhere near as high. Many of you would say that the prices are higher because it's in New York City, but in this video you'll learn that it has a lot less to do with the city and that the NBA has one of the strangest problems out of any league in the United States. All of this started in the early 2020s when all of the big market teams got good at once. Miami, both LA teams, Philly, New York, Boston, Golden State, even Brooklyn for a period of time all became parts of the upper echelon of the league at around the same time, which drove up the prices of tickets like the league had never seen before. In this first section of today's video, I've continuously talked about the weird prices, why some teams are higher, and why others are lower. But now, it's time that we look at an actual example of this. A lot of basketball creators on social media have been talking about the ranges of ticket prices from last year, but how bad did it really get? To answer this very pressing question, we need to look at the two strangest examples of ticket prices from last season. The Oklahoma City Thunder, who had the best record in the league for basically all of last year, had tickets go so low that you could watch the best team in the world play a game for cheaper than a McDonald's Happy Meal, with prices for tickets to one of those games going as low as $5, while a Happy Meal is currently $7 at many McDonald's locations. This funny and almost unbelievable statistic shows the complexity of ticket prices in today's NBA. The next example that will really make you think about the ticket market from last season was the fact that the average ticket for Brooklyn Nets game was $270, while they were easily one of the worst teams in the league. The 76ers were also one of the worst teams with an average ticket price of $250. In fact, a lot of the NBA's worst performers from last season saw some of the highest average ticket prices, while the Thunder were 25th in average ticket price at $135. Now, a lot of you may think this is obviously the case because Brooklyn and Philadelphia are naturally much larger markets, but another really interesting statistic shows the cracks in that argument. When we look at the attendance per team from last NBA season, teams like the Knicks, Celtics, Lakers, Heat, and the larger populated areas saw some more attendance, meaning more demand, which drove the prices higher. But to this, there is one key exception. Again, the OKC Thunder. They ranked 14th in overall attendance, they were the best team, they were filling the arena for almost every game, while still having one of the lowest average ticket prices. Other parts of these statistics start to not add up as well. Specifically, the fact that the Bulls Bulls were one of the worst teams, ranked number 1 in attendance, and had almost half of the average ticket price of number 1, which was the Golden State Warriors, which, if you're curious, ranked 16th in overall attendance. These statistics should be going hand in hand with each other, matching up at least in some capacity, but they aren't. How good a team is playing, the size of the market, prices, and attendance all of a sudden do not always influence each other equally. In the NBA 10 to 15 years ago, they all worked hand in hand to determine prices, but now they do not. This scattering of logic and statistics is exactly what is frightening the executives in the NBA. The ticket market is clearly more out of control than ever, and with no trends left to follow, what are they supposed to make of this? To answer to that question is more complex than you would think. The NBA had been steadily declining in viewership over the years, and it doesn't help that the ticket prices have gotten out of control. Absolutely nothing is more frightening for a league than when the viewership at homes is declining and the price to go see the game in person is rising. That ultimately leads to the real fans being priced out of a seat and therefore becoming less interested in watching the games. To add even more problems, the NBA is adopting the NFL's new system of pay to watch with Peacock and Amazon Prime. Fans are tired of having to pay hundreds of dollars just to watch their team play on a night-to-night basis, and the NBA has no idea what to do. As the league moves to push the newer stars like Anthony Edwards, Cooper Flagg, Luka Doncic, Wemby, and SGA, fans are becoming less interested. Curry, LeBron, Kawhi, Durant, Irving, Davis, and all of the stars of the 2010s and early 2020s are in the later halves of their respective careers, meaning that their time in the league will soon come to an end. These players who have globalized and revolutionized the game of basketball made the NBA what it is today. LeBron has been the face of the league for over 10 years, and with him in year 23, he will certainly be retiring very soon.
When the season ended, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to keep playing. And I know a lot of experts told you guys what I said, but I'm here now speaking for myself. In that moment, I'm asking myself if I can still play without cheating the game. Can I give everything to the game still? Truth is, I've been asking myself this question at the end of the season for a couple years now. I just never openly talked about it. I don't care how many more points I score or what I can or cannot do on the floor. The real question for me is, can I play without cheating this game? The day I can't give the game everything on the floor is the day I'll be done.
Something the NBA fears will put an even bigger hole in the already decreasing fan numbers. This can spell disaster for the future of the NBA, and with things headed the way they are, the league could suffer like never before. Without butts in the seats either watching the games at home or in the arena, the league will ultimately fail. With all of this, we haven't even discussed the constant name changes that NBA arenas have been undergoing recently, and while that may seem like a minor issue, it has the potential to plague the NBA for years to come. It started when the famous Staples Center, home of the Clippers and Lakers, changed to the Crypto.com arena.
Hey guys, I gotta tell you, I gotta say this while I can. Welcome to the Staples Center, because we're not gonna be able to say that for much longer. I don't think this is really what we put on our Christmas list, but indeed, come Christmas morning, this whole place is gonna change. It's no longer going to be Staples Center. It is a big name change for the Staples Center, and also, of course, for LA. For more than 2 decades, it's been known as the Staples Center from the day the doors opened here. A name change is a really big deal. In fact, it was a $700 million deal. That's what Crypto.com paid for the naming rights. Now, experts say it's one of the biggest naming deals in sports history.
Followed by the arena where the Miami Heat play, changing from FTX Arena to Kaseya Center, after FTX was accused of fraud and filed for bankruptcy.
Legal analysts telling me that the judge's order today clearing the way for the county to now start the process to find a new naming rights partner for this sports arena.
It will no longer be the FTX Arena. It'll be a thing of the past.
The home of the Miami Heat is now an arena without a name. This bankruptcy court order terminates a 19-year, $135 million naming rights agreement with FTX.
There's no need to promote FTX anymore.
The county asked the court to sever the agreement after the crypto trading platform declared bankruptcy late last year.
Welcome to FTX Arena.
Just a year and a half from when the agreement took effect. Too much fanfare.
To make it even worse, the 76ers changed the name of Wells Fargo Center to Xfinity Live Arena.
It's in South Philadelphia. Chopper 3 was over the former Wells Fargo Center as crews were attaching its new name to the building. It's officially time to say hello to Xfinity Mobile Arena. The last time the arena changed names was in 2010, but because in these parts we like to make up a nickname for everything, what do you think we'll really call this place?
I don't know. We need to find something, though. That's a pretty lengthy name, don't you think?
The cell, like what do you, Xfinity Mobile.
Yeah, let's think on it.
We're going to think on it.
I'm probably going to still call it Wells Fargo anyway for a while, so it's going to take a minute.
You won't be the only one.
This has become such a problem because all of these arenas are iconic in their respective cities, and their original names became household terms for everyone living in the city. This will make people less likely to attend games in those huge market cities in the future, and will give the fans a weird feel when going into the arena. I know it sounds strange, but trust me, this has the potential to ruin the markets for both Miami and Philadelphia, but Los Angeles will most likely be fine because of their acquisition of Luka Doncic. Nevertheless, with all of these problems, what could be the solution to save the NBA? Well, I'd be lying if I said that this was an easy issue to fix the NBA. Despite that, I still believe there are some ways the league can get around this. For starters, they need to find a way to corroborate the statistics I provided earlier in the video. There needs to be real reasons why tickets are cheaper in one city and more expensive in another. This means that the first step to fixing the ticket system in the NBA is making sure that the fans know the price they're paying is actually worth it. I propose that instead of the individual teams setting the prices of tickets, the NBA sets prices based on the revenue share each team brings each year. They would have to account for the quality of the game and who is playing in it, but this system seems to make the most sense. To go along with this, the NBA really needs to figure out a way to regulate the secondary market so fans aren't getting priced out by resellers. Some sort of cap or checking system needs to be implemented so fans aren't getting scammed. And so I don't get scammed for making this video, you should subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything in the NBA this season. The league also needs to work more with each organization and arena to watch over which companies put their logo and name on arenas where NBA games are played, and work with the arena not to change the name often, if at all. I know that some of this sounds harsh, but it truly has reached the boiling point with the ticket market and overall interest and viewership in the NBA. With legends like LeBron, Curry, and KD set to retire soon, it will only get worse from here. Every fan deserves the right to see their favorite team play, whether that be on a nationally televised channel or a reasonably priced ticket into the arena to watch them live. And NBA League Pass is a great thing, but costs hundreds of dollars a year, which doesn't even include the money you have to spend on cable and the new subscriptions to watch NBA games. Regulating the viewership and ticket market is the only way the NBA can regain control of this pressing issue and get the fan base interested in the NBA again. Ticket prices and pay-to-view rates should make sense to the one buying them. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, as it is a little different from what I usually post. This is one of the least talked about issues throughout the league and needs to be further addressed, but that's for another time. I'm going to be posting much more on this channel as the NBA season progresses. YouTube thinks you're going to like the video that's going to pop up. If you want, click on it. Otherwise, until then, peace.